Hi guys! Today I want to do a little talk about deepening the understanding of the three principles. Yesterday a client came to me and she was doing amazingly. She learned the three principles so quickly. She understood the principle of thought and how it creates an experience in your life, and she was exercising it in her life so beautifully with no difficulty at all. And then she got stressed out. She got overtired and there was too much on her plate and she didn't know what to do with herself, and everything went to hell in a handbasket. And she came back to me 3 weeks later and she was just so disappointed because she was so angry with herself. She said to me, "Ange, I know how to do this stuff. I believe and I understand about thought. And yet as hard as I tried to fix my poor quality thinking, I couldn't do it. And now I'm so angry and frustrated and disappointed with myself because I just couldn't do it. I just stayed in this funk and this bad mood for almost 3 weeks." And so it was a wonderful opportunity for us to really deepen her understanding. And from that lesson, deepen your understanding of the three principles and how thought works to create feeling. But what we're doing to fix that, what we need to do around that. Because by now, if you've been watching my podcast, you understand that 100% of our felt experience comes from our thinking. But what you don't necessarily understand is how to go about working with that in a way that stops us from getting really trapped for long periods of time into poor quality thinking. And here's where she went wrong, if you will, where she got herself into a knot over this. When she got into poor quality thinking, she had this experience of trying to fix the poor quality thinking. So we've all been given the story about how we must have positive thinking and how we must replace negative thinking with positive thinking, and how we've got to work at being positive and how we've got to keep positive thinking prevalent and strong in our minds. And so that's what she did. She wanted to solve the problem of the negative thinking that was making her feel unhappy and stressed out and overwhelmed. And so she started to create this argy-bargy in her head. There was the negative thought that was going on and the negative feeling that she was experiencing. And then this insistence on positive thought. I know that it's all thought, so I must think positively. I know that it's all thought, so I'm going to war with my negative thinking. And what happened was that she ended up with this war inside her head. And so it's really interesting because, let me just give you my little example of my jar, which I love to use. In this state, we're in complete peace and harmony and clarity and great quality thinking. But the moment we shake it up, we've got this fuzziness in our thinking. We've got this negativity in our thinking. We're much more likely to have negative thought when we're in a negative state. And so when we're in the state, creating an argy-bargy about the negative thinking, creating a war in our head between the positive and the negative thinking, all it does is shake it up some more. So we shake it and we shake it up some more and we shake it up some more. Now, if you, like most of my clients, want to be perfect when you first start coming to me, of course we get rid of that rubbish as soon as we can. But if there's this desire for perfection, if there's this need to do things well and to do things right, as we all want to have, as we all have in our lives, then we really want to do it well. And so while she's busy shaking this thing up with an attempt to get rid of the negativity with positivity, she's also shaking it up with this irritation at herself because she knows this stuff and she should be able to do better. And, I don't have to go there. And why am I there? And I need to solve this problem. And so she's creating this discomfort and this negativity around the fact that she's in poor quality thinking. So not only did she have the bummer of having to go into that poor quality thinking and have the poor quality experience of that poor quality thinking, but she then exacerbated that poor quality thinking with the judgment on herself of not being able to get out of it. No matter how hard she tried, no matter how much she worked on being positive, no matter how much she did to try and save herself from not getting involved in the poor quality thinking, all that she did was she created more harsh judgment, more pain, more irritation, more frustration. So shaking, 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 shaking. Now, the reason I use this jar is because if you think about how we're going to get this jar clear again, there's only really one way to do it, and that's to put the jar down. So we have to let that water settle. We need to let all that dirt and dust and stones and gravel settle in the jar in order for that water to become clear again. And that's how our immune system of the mind works also. We have to allow the mind to settle. And when we get engaged in trying to fix poor quality thinking, we're getting attached to that poor quality thinking in a way. Even though it's an attachment by trying to fix it, it's still an attachment to the thinking. And by being an attachment to the thinking, we're not allowing that jar to just start to settle, that dirt to just settle down, and for our mind to clear itself. So we're not allowing our natural immune system of the mind to return us to a natural state of well-being. Instead, we just keep beating on it and beating on it and beating on it. And then we say, well, why doesn't our mind do what we're asking it to do? Why won't it return to a natural state of well-being? Obviously, there is no natural state. But that's not true. What we don't realize is that by trying to make it return to the natural state, by trying to force it to return to the natural state, we're still focused on the thing that's keeping us out of that state. And so it's like, don't think about the pink elephant, and all we can think about is a pink elephant. And that's what's happening here. We're just thinking about the thing we're trying not to think about by trying to fix the thing that we're trying to not think about. And round we go in this frustration and irritation and this lack of success in returning to well-being. So I hope that made sense to you, that it helps you to deepen the understanding of how to return to well-being. It's not a matter of fixing anything. If we're just in awareness, if we just accept, oh well, I'm there, it'll settle down, it'll eventually return to well-being. If I don't have to do anything to it, if I do nothing, then we have the opportunity to return to well-being and clarity. If we work it, if we punch it, if we're having an argy-bargy in our brain with it, we've got no chance. So I hope that's useful to you. Have a wonderful day.